Good morning, App Nation. Welcome to Coaches Getting Coffee. I'm Matt President, and we're here with the newest member of our App State coaching family, Alaura Sharp, the new App State women's basketball coach here at App State. And we're coming to you live from Vicious Biscuit in Boone. It's right around the corner from campus. Outstanding breakfast, which we'll enjoy in just a little bit. But Coach, we want to get to know you a little bit first. And I know you've gotten asked this question a bunch, but we'll do it one more time. As you've gone through this process and App State came on your radar, what made this a great opportunity for you?
Well, I think just the pride in the black and gold. I mean, everywhere you look, there is success. There's so much momentum in the athletic department and so many championships won by different sports this last season. And I've said this before, you know, I worked with Dustin Kearns for a year. And when he came to App State from PC, I watched and I followed along, and I was just able to see the fan base and the momentum that was going on in this department. And I actually came through and watched his team work out when I was in town recruiting, and I was able to see Boone for the first time, and it's beautiful, and the scenery, just everything about this place is special. Just like they say, there's something special up on this mountain, and I'm just so happy and excited to be here.
Let's go back in your career and your life a bit. You grew up on a farm in Kansas. How did basketball get on your radar?
Well, growing up, my dad played old man's basketball, where you go to the local middle school, a bunch of guys show up, they bring their kids, they take their shirts off, and they just play for like an hour. And I was dribbling around on the side. I always did that with him. And so I think that's how I first got a ball in my hand. And then we had he put up a basketball hoop, like just the backboard with the rim on the dirt patio. And then my sisters, we started playing pig and horse and all different kinds of games, and I just fell in love with it. And my sisters went on to be dancers and volleyball players, but I really fell in love with basketball, and I traveled all over the place and made a ton of memories and went on to play in college. And then I played for a coach that changed my life, and he opened my eyes and gave me my first job. And 18 years later, here we are.
Before we get to your career, let's go back to the farm for a minute. Growing up on a farm, what was your day-to-day like? What were your responsibilities? And what was the purpose of this farm? Was it just a hobby farm, or was it serving a greater good for the community?
Yeah, definitely was a family farm. My dad went to Kansas State, and my mom and him got married, and he got his agricultural degree. So they bought this farm, and we had hogs. We actually had 1,200 head hog farm. We also had a bunch of crops. So we had wheat, obviously being from Kansas, the wheat state. We had sunflowers at one point in time. We had milo. We had fescue at one point in time, which is grass. Corn. We had all kinds of things. And so a day in the life in the summer, you're busy. I mean, you learn how to drive stick shifts at a young age. You four-wheeler around. You make lunch. You bring it to all the farmers in the field. You drive tractors at a really young age. My least favorite thing, though, was irrigating the crops. And so you had to carry irrigation pipes, and you go through and you trudge through and you pick them up, and all the mud and everything comes out of these pipes, and you load it up on a trailer. And I have a total phobia of mice, and there'd be mice running out. And so that was my least favorite job. But everything else, it just teaches you work ethic and family camaraderie, because everybody pitches in, from my mom to our siblings to use your dogs. Everything goes into the family farm. So pretty cool way to grow up.
Really cool memories, I'm sure. All right, so we fast forward to basketball, and you talk about this coach that changed your life, that gave you this opportunity. Once you got this job as an assistant, at what point did it click for you that, like, this is what my career is going to become?
Well, I knew right away when I first started coaching that it was what I was going to do forever, because I never felt like I went to work every day. And it was actually a volunteer assistant job. And so my family did not think it was going to be a career forever, because I made $3,000 for the whole entire year. And so I had a million side jobs. I line judged volleyball games. I ran the home football concession stands. I would literally wake up at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m. and brown all this hamburger meats because we had started walking tacos at the concession stand, which was a huge hit. And then I worked at a steakhouse. So I kind of hustled on the side to make ends meet. And I did that for 2 years. And then I got an opportunity to be a head coach at a junior college, like 90 miles or a couple hours down the road from that job. And so I had my first head coaching job at 24 years old. And like I said, it just never felt like I went to work. I've never felt like I've gone to work a day in my life. And it's just I love being a part of a team, honestly. I love to mentor young women and hang out with the staff and travel and go see everything. And it's just been an amazing 18 years of building different programs. And I'm excited to get to work here and get our roster finalized and get rolling.
What does that look like, especially in 2024 when there's so much player movement? You come into a program here in the early to mid-spring. How do you go about constructing what not only the roster looks like in the fall of 2024, but also beyond?
Well, whether you have a full roster or a short roster, when you get somewhere, you put your head down at work. And coaching college basketball is not something that you can side gig. You got to just go all in. And we're working all the different markets. I love the international player, whether they come from JUCO or transfer portal, whatever it is. We'll hit the transfer market up also pretty good. But I love the international players. They're mature. They're a little bit older when they come to the States. They've played with professional players on these club teams and different things like that. So they bring a different flair to your team and your program. I still like the high school player too. I think that they come in, they're easy to get bought in. They don't have other experiences. They're kind of bright light and bushy-tailed and excited to be in college. So I love still attempting to build through freshmen. I'm a former junior college coach. I played junior college, so I love the market of junior college players. And then, like I mentioned, getting into the portal and looking for players who are looking for new scenery or looking for a bigger role or looking to win a championship or build a program like this. And so we'll grab from different areas and things are starting to come together. And we have a good core group of players to build around. I mean, Emily Carver and Faith Austin, they are great players. Watching all these kids on film, they play hard, they scrap, they're blue collar, and so we'll continue to add to that.
You've had different stops and different roles in your coaching career. It's brought you to different places across the country. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, but if there's one piece of advice or one takeaway from another coach that has most resonated with you throughout your career, what would it be?
I think from my college coach who gave me my first coaching job, he always said, back then Tennessee was the program that was dominating, and he always said, Sharpie, because he called me Sharpie. That was my nickname in college. He'd always say, Sharpie, you got to make this your Tennessee, no matter where it is, no matter if it was Lamar Community College or Garden City Community College, you've got to make it your Tennessee. And what he meant by that is take pride in your program, leave it better than you found it, build it the right way, person by person, hire by hire, recruit by recruit, drill by drill, just one day at a time. Take a lot of pride and be where your feet are.
Lastly, we know you're busy. You've got a lot to jump into and get rolling, but in your moments away from basketball and coaching, what is it that you enjoy doing in your spare time?
Well, I'm excited to be in Boone because I actually enjoy doing things outside, and I haven't snow skied since 7th grade, and so hopefully I get the chance and opportunity to do that. But I like to work out, I like to walk, I like to spend time outside. I love nature, obviously, growing up on a farm. I love to shop. I prefer online shopping. I'm kind of a girly girl, so I like heels and clothes and all those things. But I also like to make trips home to see my family. I've got a bunch of nieces and nephews. I'm really close to my 2 older sisters, and I've got a lot of family back there. And they're also now Mountaineer fans. They're excited to follow along and make trips out to Boone.
Well, we're excited to have you here. Appreciate you joining us here on Coaches Getting Coffee.
Thank you for having me.
She's Alaura Sharp. I'm Matt Present. Check out Vicious Biscuit right around the corner from campus. Tremendous breakfast, which we'll get here in just a moment. They've also got some phenomenal orange juice and drinks as well. So again, check them out. Vicious Biscuit right around the corner from App State's campus. Thanks so much for joining us here on Coaches Getting Coffee. We'll see you next time. All right, just want to show off what we got here this morning. A few different plates for our crew. I went with the Belgian waffle, fruit and bacon. We've also got the Fat Boy and the Vicious. So many good options here at Vicious Biscuit. We can't wait to dig in.